To kick off episode 5, Monica visits John asking for his help because Kayce got arrested by the tribal police. Monica was previously wary of getting close to John and his ranch because Kayce didn't like John, but she puts this aside to help Kayce get out of this mess intact. John wants Jamie to take care of it and Jamie goes on his way. In the meantime, Kayce is cooperative with the police and Rainwater. He tells them about the whole van incident and how he killed the 2 kidnappers. Jamie arrives and points out that the gun Kayce used during the van incident had the chief of police's barrel on it. This is because the chief of police took responsibility after Kayce had to kill a burnt guy following the drug house explosion in episode 2. So the switch of barrels there to avoid a legal procedure leads to Jamie being able to dismantle any accusation toward Kayce in the van incident, because if he was charged, what the chief of police did would be revealed as well. Nobody wants that, including Rainwater, so Kayce is free to go. John wants to use this crisis to his advantage. He wants Kayce and his family to come live on the ranch. And even though what John ultimately wants isn't sinister, you could accuse him of scheming. He believes that Kayce will either rot in jail or die if he continues to live on the res, which is why Kayce is tasked with taming the wild horse he gave to his father. This is gonna keep him on the ranch for at least a day. John divulges his true intention to Monica later on when she's having a meeting with the president of Montana State University. Jamie arranged this meeting and the salary is great. She would be an associate professor in the Native American Studies department, but she doesn't want to leave her job at the red school because it's gonna take a ridiculously long amount of time for them to replace her, and the education of these kids on the res will suffer. After the meeting, John talks with Monica about Kayce, and John wants her to take the job so that they can leave the res, but she says no. In the meantime, Tate understandably wants to live on the Yellowstone ranch because he finds it comfortable there. He's got everything he wants. But Kayce wants to go home after working on the wild horse. Tate pleads with him to stay, and Monica says, "Let's stay for one day." That night, Monica witnesses Rip branding a new ranch hand by the name of Walker. Rip picked out Walker out of a bunch of convicts being released from prison, and Walker had no idea what he was really getting into. He wanted to stay out of prison going forward. He didn't want trouble with the law, but being branded means that he'll have issues with the law for the rest of his life, because they are like a mob. Like we said, Monica encounters Walker's branding ceremony that night, and even though she doesn't visibly freak out, this definitely shows her that she doesn't want to live around here, at least for now. Beth's boss, Bob Schwartz, wants her to come back to Salt Lake City, but Beth says she has to stick around in Montana. Bob suggests opening up a branch there, and Beth is up to the task. She wants to go after Jenkins and Paradise Valley, and she can do that better with Schwartz and Meyer's help. She's too drunk to drive home and she calls Jamie to pick her up, which predictably sets up a confrontation. Beth keeps talking about how she lost her mother in a different way than Jamie did because she watched her die and there wasn't any love in her eyes. So Beth has to live with that forever. To demonstrate her point, Beth holds a gun under her chin and Jamie doesn't think she's serious and he encourages her to go ahead. Beth pulls the trigger but no one's hurt, and then Beth makes the point about her mother. For the first time in the show, Jamie says something sweet to her sister as he tells her to keep hating him if it keeps her from hating herself. These words don't do anything for Beth though, because after seeing how happy John is about spending time with Tate, she gets jealous because she has never been able to attract that kind of attention from her parents when she was a kid. She goes in her closet and screams. Jamie wants John to send Beth back to Salt Lake City, but John believes he needs her because the ranch needs her. She can be evil for the good of the ranch, Jamie can't, and evil is what's needed at the moment. This basically proves Beth right about her parents because even if they love her, they have a twisted way of manifesting that love. That said, Beth is still able to wreak havoc on Jenkins's life in this episode after she introduces herself to Jenkins's wife, Vicky. Vicky absolutely adores Beth, and Jenkins realizes this isn't gonna end well, so he calls a fixer by the name of Melody and wants her to come to Montana as soon as possible. Well, we are midway through season 1 now. What did you think about this episode? Leave your comments down below, like this video if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe for more movie reviews and TV show breakdowns. That's it for now, take care and see you in the next video.